his trade request and what team is he going to go to. Are the Nets going to keep him? Who's got a package for him? He says that he wants to go to the Suns or the Heat. Jalen Rose, what is going on with Kevin Durant?
So here's what should be going on. And I wish I would have paid attention more in Spanish when I was in high school. One of the dumbest things I ever did was drop Spanish and said, I'm never going to Spain. That was one of the dumbest things in my life. I wish I could say this in multiple languages right now. I wish I could say this in Chinese. I wish I could say this in Spanish. If you're the Nets, do not trade KD. Let me repeat. If you're the Nets, do not trade KD. Don't panic. He has multiple years left on his contract. He's still one of the elite players in the game. He just saw the Golden State Warriors win the championship this past year. He's going to be as motivated this offseason, this coming season, as any player in the league. Kyrie's still under contract. So is Ben Simmons. So is Joe Harris. So is Seth Curry. I think you don't panic and you stay pat. I've been telling you, I would have made sure that James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD would have at least played one playoff series together. I would not. I know James was shutting it down. He even missed a game because he said he had a bad hand. But now that all of these people that I just mentioned are still under contract, led by that guy right there, you do not move them. So let's talk about some phone calls, Jacoby. You look down at your phone. Who can call you with one player in exchange for KD?
Well, there's a few, but none of those players are going to be on the table. So there is no sort of like true one-for-one Kevin Durant trade that's going to be on the table. There isn't.
Well, it has to be, family, because when you're trading one of the top 3 players on anybody's list in the game, you got to give me a guy that made this year's All-Star game and will make the next 5 All-Star games. Not no one-time All-Star, not no +1. You need somebody that's really about to. KD about to average 30 this year on 50, 40, 90. Like, you don't move that. And I'm trying to tell you, unless they're talking about moving Giannis, which they're not. I ain't moving him for nobody. You see Miles Blackman, Spike Lee at a Nets game? Nobody.
So, Mr. Rose, he has requested a trade. Apparently, the Nets are working with Rich Kleiman in order to make that happen. So it sounds like there needs to be a real conversation if you want him to show up in training camp. How do you handle that if you are Steve Nash, Sean Marks, and the Nets?
I'll tell you another secret. I might have Rich Kleiman and Sean Marks' numbers in my phone. And I'm going to tell you something, family. I could orchestrate a 3-way if they need to. And here's what the conversation needs to be. Are they going to get Giannis in return? If I don't hear that, okay. Well, can I get Booker and Ayton in return? Okay, I can't do that. Can I get Jimmy and Bam in return? Okay, well then we can't do that. So if you're a contending team, you're going to have to give up too much of what you already have to acquire him. And if you're a lottery team, you're going to have to gut the team so much he's going to be unhappy to be there. That's why wild cards come into play like Toronto. They have multiple assets, multiple players. They got a terrific GM, and they'll just roll the dice with my guy Masai Ujiri, who's arguably the best in the game. So, like, these teams that everybody glamorizing about KD getting traded to, that'll be awesome for him, and I wish him the luck landing where he hopes to land. But if I'm the Nets, you think I'm going to trade him to the Warriors and not get Steph in return?
Well,
I'm not going to be able to do it.
The Warriors have been discussed as a potential landing spot. You know, there's some packages that they can put together with some young players and some picks and whatnot. Could you see Kevin Durant returning to the Warriors of all places?
Let me name some people, and I want you to tell me. Wiggins was an all-star this year for the first time. That might be the only time he make the all-star game. Let me say that in a different language. That might be the only time he make the all-star game.
Same language.
Next thing, Kuminga, Wiseman, Poole, they ain't make the all-star game this year. So we can't talk about KD, and ain't no guarantee each of them gonna make the next 4 or 5 years. So there is no path for me. You got to give me an elite player. I need Giannis. I need Luka. I need Ja. I need if Minnesota's on the phone, talk to me about Cat and Anthony Edwards. Like, that's what I'm gonna need in return for Kevin Durant. So I don't see this happening this offseason, because if you're the Nets, also, why rush? And let me tell you one other thing. While we're right now, by the way, I just got double boosted. Let me tell you why. I see the coronavirus cases are going up in different places. This is important to the Nets. Why? Because Kyrie Irving was a player that didn't play last year during home games because he wasn't vaccinated. I bring that up because we're going to talk so much, and people have talked so much about the games that Kyrie has missed over the last 3 years. David Jacoby. KD has missed more games the last 3 years than Kyrie has. He's 34 years old, still a terrific player. You don't rush to move him with years left on his contract.
Well, we'll be discussing Kevin Durant a lot this summer, something tells me.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.